The people want their vote to count. I have no power to nullify or discredit or discount that vote and that voice until we have done consultation with those people who voted. When somebody spends a whole day in the queue and you just wake up and say, to hell with that, we can't do that. We must respect the dignity of that vote. We must respect the sacrifice of the elderly, of the young, of people who are even not feeling well, sick people who have been in the queues for their voice to count in governance. You know, we are peacemakers. We would want to give peace a chance and democracy a chance. But there's a line in the sand that has to be drawn. So in terms of the credibility, you can see that Mr. Mnangagwa was planning all along to nullify the credibility of this vote. It is up to him to justify to the world and to the people of Zimbabwe why he wants to continue on this path of illegitimacy. But as for us, we will not allow it. Is that in the rural areas, it was not a vote. They were commandeering people, but our people were very vigilant. They had this thing that they called the exit poll survey, which is unheard of. Even in banana republics, they don't do such things. But Mr. Mnangagwa has scored the first. In this one, he has defeated Mugabe in all his weaknesses and mistakes. He has gone a notch higher. And we are not going to accept that nonsense. People's vote must count. Citizens' vote must count. The voice of the citizens must count. So yes, we are going to take our opportunity overnight to receive reports, to assess the situation in the country, and inform the country on the direction we are going to take. We are not going to allow Mr. Mnangagwa to try and repeat in 2018 on the citizens of Zimbabwe. So my message to Zimbabwe is to encourage Zimbabweans to stay on course, to be vigilant, to wherever you are. I know that some of you are sick, you have ailments, but this is the last hurdle. If you have waited for 43 years, what's so special about the night? Endure. We are going to enjoy. We are going to celebrate. There's going to be the people's will and the citizens' will in this country. And I've always said, God is in it. God's way, God's will shall be fulfilled. And there's going to be celebration in this country because the people want change. The people want a new government and a new leader. I want to thank you. So I'll take any questions here. Any questions? It is endless. And it is those handlers who are afraid of the imminent verdict of the people. That verdict is being contaminated, adulterated, because the people have spoken. Across the country, people are clear that they want change and they support us. I mean, you can see that ZANU-PF are very desperate, they are rattled. They did not start today. They did it with the issue of the nomination. They did it even before the nomination, the gerrymandering in terms of the boundaries. They did it even with double candidates, connivance to impose double candidates in the triple C. What they tried to do in Ulawa when they intended to withdraw and remove our 12 members of parliament. And now what you are seeing is an escalation of those antics and tactics. Tactics of desperation, tactics that are deliberate, that are shameless, and tactics that are done by people who are in trouble. They have no mandate to govern this country. So they've plunged this country into a crisis. Starting from tomorrow, there's no government in Zimbabwe. Mr. Mnangagwa can claim, but he's not the president of this country, legally and constitutionally. So the country is being driven into a crisis, a constitutional crisis, a political crisis, and an electoral crisis. But we've said, and I must thank the citizens for soldiering on. They are still in the queues. And we are encouraging all the citizens, wherever you are, if you have not cast your vote, make sure you cast your vote. Your vote must count. They don't want your vote to count. They want to discount your vote, particularly in Harare, in Bulawayo, and in Manicaland. But there's a formula to the madness. Mr. Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF, they know that they have no support in these provinces. And that's why they victimized the provinces, targeted them. But by doing so, they are also nullifying the effect of a credible election. And I'm glad as I welcome His Excellency President Goodluck Jonathan, who is here on behalf of the AU, just to observe and hear what our concerns are. We have invited all the observer groups. That is the norm, that is the standard. And I'm glad that they are taking note of our very well considered concerns. So yes, my message to Zimbabwe, we are receiving reports from. We had hoped that we would have a normal election. The election has not been normal. I think the chief election has already indicated to you what our complaints and concerns are. In fact, I'm sure they told you that they approached ZEC, but ZEC seems to be either weak, incapable, or out of capacity to deal with the issues that are supposed to be dealt with. Because those issues that were raised have not been addressed by ZEC. It is a cause for concern. ZEC seems to have confirmed our fears that they will probably fail to pass the credibility test, the professionalism test, the independence test, and the constitutionality test, and more importantly, the non-partisanship test, because we don't expect ZEC to pitch camp with any side of the fighting or competing sides in this election. The fact that they've targeted Harare, the fact that they've targeted Bulawayo is an indication that they are scared of people in the urban areas. They are scared of citizens in the urban areas. And if you look at the number of voters in Harare, you are talking of over 1.2 million registered voters who, in the main, have been disenfranchised. This is a clear case of voter suppression, a classic case of Stone Age, antiquated, analog rigging, where you say, find an excuse to say, we have all the other ballots, the presidential ballot is there, the parliamentary ballot is there, but you don't have the council candidates' ballots. This is in Harare, where the ballots are being printed, but you have ballots for Uzumba, for Munzi, for Mtoko, where there's no printing press that prints ballots. It tells you that you need to spell a big rate in terms of the approach of ZEC. Chikanga, Murao, polling station, we received information that the ballot papers for the presidential vote were not sufficient. Now, it begs the question, how is it possible? Because these ballots, when they are sent out on the basis of the registered voters of the polling station. So how is it possible that ballot papers can be said to be insufficient? So that is another issue that we are flagging to the public. Also important is that, I'm sure you are all now aware, social media is awash with the reports of the exit poll desks that are all over, and you probably know who has been manning those exit poll desks. These are a concern because to us they constitute voter intimidation, and they are a hindrance to the exercise of the free will to vote. So this is a concern which is really worrying us as a party. But after all is said and done, we are still insisting that our people have done well to remain at their polling stations, to remain strong and steadfast, wishing to cast their ballots. Of course, there have been reports of violence with visuals coming from all over the country of people who have been attacked. We have the situation of one of the honorable members, a candidate from Zarabani, Honorable Wellington Gweru. He was attacked this afternoon. As we were coming to this presser, he was actually at the police station making a report. You are all also aware of the situation involving one of the candidates, Tongai Jake from Bindura, where there was a petrol bomb, and that an infant was harmed and is currently in hospital. So these are some of the issues that have so far arisen. There are multiple issues. We cannot exhaust them at this conference. All we need to do is to alert the public, to alert the media, observers, so that they are watchful as they go about their business in this election.